I'm Anya.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're the Tweeks. Tween Geeks.
I'm Huston Huddleston from the Hollywood Science Fiction Museum, and we are doing something that has been brewing for like maybe 20, 30, 40 years that nobody else has done before for whatever reasons, but we are creating a science fiction museum in Hollywood that will be a non-profit educational museum, and it'll have everything in it: Doctor Who, Firefly, Star Wars, Star Trek, you name it.
So you're opening up a temporary museum exhibit, correct?
By the end of this year, we will probably have a temporary exhibit in Hollywood or in Los Angeles, I'll say, at a real museum that's already established. That will be the first step. And after that, we will just be put on a different level and people will actually know, okay, yeah, these people aren't, full of it, and they're actually making something that could change the world.
Can you tell us what's going to be at the museum?
Oh my gosh. What we want it to be is, we're working on a deal with the city, and they own land that we can, but it's prime land, and we want it to be in North Hollywood. So we want it to be the museum, a giant, massive gift shop that has everything from Harry Potter wands to lightsabers to phasers to toys to replicas, and we want it to be this awesome restaurant that's going to be a spaceship restaurant that's going to be incredible. Basically, we want this to be like the equivalent of a downtown Disney, but in North Hollywood. What we say about our museum, the fun of a theme park inside of a museum.
So I'm here with Timothy Earls, who is a Hollywood designer for all things sci-fi, and he's on the board of directors for the Sci-Fi Museum. Now, is there something you want to tell us about, like anything that we should know about the museum?
Well, I think the biggest thing you should know about is going to be awesome. Hopefully it's going to be complete. Not leaving too many genres out.
So what's the coolest thing you've worked on as far as designing goes?
Well, there's a lot of stuff. Serenity was pretty good. Babylon 5 was my favorite, though. I was really lucky that the producer let me go on a lot of things. I designed a lot of ships and sets for Babylon 5.
How did you get started, and did you always want to design in sci-fi, or was there other genres you wanted to work with too?
I really wanted to do sci-fi. Since I was about 5 years old, I used to watch Thunderbirds and stuff when I lived in England. That started my interest in sci-fi at that age. I didn't know I was wanting to design stuff, but I knew as I got older I was drawing a lot, and those drawings happened to be a lot of spaceships. I was told there wasn't a future in something like that, but I kept doing it anyway. And after high school, I got hired by a local architect. And so I did that for about 15 years, designing architecture. And then when I had a chance to come out to Los Angeles, that was my chance to get into entertainment design. And the first thing I worked on was Babylon 5.
I'm here with Gigi, and she works for the Sci-Fi Channel.
One of my very first long-term jobs as an actress was on a show called Farscape, and it's turned into this amazing, it has a huge support system. They're called the Scapers, and they've literally watched me grow up my whole entire life. I think most of them know me more than my mum and dad. So I was speaking to Houston, and I asked him if I could join forces with him over the weekend to help promote his amazing museum and also some of the new projects that I've been working on.
Is there anything you can tell us about what's going to be seen in the museum?
Well, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I would love to be there at the opening because I want to see all the stuff just as much as you.
What was your favorite part with working with sci-fi? And were you always into that kind of stuff, or was it something you just went into?
I love acting and I love telling good stories, so I'm very, very passionate about scripts of all shapes, sizes, all sorts. I adore science fiction because you're allowed to explore topics that are usually taboo on Earth. So one of my favorite things that I've done with the sci-fi world is I've worked with the fans, and we raised over $44,000 to do a Kickstarter to fund an amazing film called Hashtag, which we shot last week in Los Angeles. And we're going to pitch that to Sundance and to Cannes, and then we want to put it back to the fans and our loved ones and some private investors and make something bigger out of it. So stay tuned.
That's so cool. I will definitely be looking for that. Do you have any advice for actors or actresses who just want to get in the business, or especially younger ones too?
Love what you do and work really hard at it, and then the universe will make events coincide to manifest that reality for you. It's very important to wake up with a smile on your face.
Thank you so much. It was very nice meeting you. All these buttons have sounds.